Preeti Rao, founder of Weljii, integrative health expert and wellness coach, also with me on the program. Preeti, Saudi Arabia, a country which is considered to be at the seat of the Islamic leadership, accepting and basically realizing the virtues of yoga, is a big deal. Now, they always say that prevention is better than cure. And this message perhaps has also reached a country like Saudi Arabia. In your opinion, as somebody who runs a very successful health forum and platform, do you think that we are on the verge, we are on the cusp of something very big here as a soft power?
I think this is a welcome initiative, whether it's Saudi Arabia, whether that's the global ecosystem. I think we're beginning to embrace that our body and ourselves, we are far more complicated and beautiful. Yeah, there are many parts of our life. We are an integrative, holistic persona. There is our physical life, there is our social life, there's our emotional, mental, spiritual, environmental, intellectual, and financial life. And yoga talks about, when we look at an individual, we look at an individual from a holistic perspective. Conventionally, in modern medicine, when we look at an individual, we're looking at them from a unidimensional perspective. We're looking at them from a disease and sickness perspective. And I think time has changed. People in India and globally are looking at a more holistic approach. They're looking at, can I take accountability for my health? Do I really need to see a doctor? Do I need to go to as many hospital visits? Do I need invasive tests? Do I need hospitalization? And yoga truly is a way of life, isn't it? We talk about the yoga philosophy, cleanliness and holistic approach to not only how we think, how we live, and how we consume our food. And more importantly, when we look at the yoga asanas, the yoga asana, when we look at it, it seems it's coming from a physical realm of place, right? People are practicing complicated postures. But what's important to know that when somebody practices yoga, they're not only, increasing their strength, flexibility, and endurance, but most of these asanas, you're massaging a lot of the internal organs, right? And for example, the Sirshasana, which is known as the king of all asanas. If you look at it, it seems like a manifestation of strength of standing on your head. But truly, the king of asanas is the Sirshasana is known as the king of all asanas, because here the understanding is when you're able to stand on your head for a prolonged period of time, you've conquered the unknown, you've conquered fear, you've conquered death. So, and there's enough science and research that says that people who practice yoga regularly live longer. People who practice yoga regularly have more presence and awareness in their day-to-day conduct. People who practice yoga, mindfulness, meditation, and breath work, there is enough evidence that says that the cortex, the brain, is actually larger for these people. So people who practice yoga on a regular basis, should there be challenges? For example, when we had COVID, people who had regular practices of yoga, it was evident that they were able to quickly adapt to changes, right? And life is all about adapting to changes and challenging situations. So yoga has many benefits beyond the physical realm. And it's definitely a welcome change, and congratulations. What's beautiful, my son was also born on International Yoga Day, and we celebrated every year with a lot of love and rigor. So thank you so much for having me in the show.
Great points, Preeti. And Preeti, conclude with you. Quick comment from you. Do you think that after COVID, there is also this heightened realization amongst institutions and countries and whatnot to make sure that it's better to be safe than sorry?
Absolutely. There is a greater level of awareness, and people actually want to take accountability for their personal health, right? But taking accountability is not as easy. Sometimes you need a helping hand. And trainers, practitioners, health and wellness coaches can play a great role in helping people to modify their behaviors. Now, I want to quickly talk about also that yoga, as I've mentioned, is a lifestyle. It's a way of living. And it's not religion. It's all about spirituality. And spirituality is about connecting with ourselves and identifying our core values, our belief systems, and having a sense of identity and having a clarity in कि मेरा वजूद क्या है. In conventional schools, when our ancestors, they went to Gurukul, and that's where they learned life in general, and that's kind of missing in our children today. A child's brain is almost fully developed by the time they are between 5 to 7 years old.
Yeah.
That means all the habits, all healthy habits have to be cultivated.
And Preeti, we've run out of time. We've run out of time.
Sure.
And another testament to this imbalance is that there are more Vipassana centers in the United States than you have in India. So obviously this embracing of this particular age-old practice needs to be done and catalyzed at home first. Would like to thank all my guests for being a part of this wonderful conversation.